Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
With much of Iran's leadership killed in the war, who is really running the country now and calling the shots in Tehran? Does the highest power in Iran today sit solely with the new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, or is he sharing real authority with other top leaders inside the regime? After Iran publicly snubbed peace talks, is Trump now trying to save face by suddenly mentioning a mystery top leader he claims to be negotiating with, but not Mojtaba?
Speaking with Iran.
A top person, don't forget. We've wiped out the leadership phase 1, phase 2, and largely phase 3. But we're dealing with the man who I believe is the most respected and the leader.
Iran's parliament speaker went on record to flatly deny any talks with the US and dismiss Trump's claims as fake news. Is Iran openly humiliating the US on the world stage? Since February 28th, a series of US-Israeli strikes has killed dozens of top Iranian political, military, and intelligence figures, including senior commanders and security chiefs. Despite these losses, analysts note that Iran's governing system has continued to function and direct the war effort, without a visible collapse in command and control. Experts explain this resilience by pointing to Iran's complex, layered power structure, built around multiple overlapping institutions rather than a single center of authority. These institutions are designed to protect the survival of the theocratic system itself, making it less dependent on any one leader or small group of individuals. With much of the top brass killed, observers and governments are now openly questioning who effectively wields power in Iran's leadership core at this stage of the war. After the death of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in the initial strikes, his son Mojtaba Khamenei was elevated to the post of supreme leader, formally inheriting his father's role. However, reports stress that Mojtaba does not enjoy the same religious authority as his father, as he lacks the higher clerical rank and standing that underpinned Ali Khamenei's legitimacy. Reuters and other outlets have reported that Mojtaba was effectively the preferred candidate of the IRGC, and may therefore be heavily beholden to the hardline Revolutionary Guard leadership. At the same time, the IRGC has assumed an expanded role in strategic decision-making during the war, further tightening its grip over Iran's security and political direction. The top figures remaining in Iran include Ahmed Vahidi, IRGC chief, the Corps' latest commander, was appointed after his two immediate predecessors were killed, and has been influential within the Guards for many years. He fought in the Iran-Iraq War, went on to run the IRGC's Quds Force, and later served as Iran's defense minister. Esmail Qani, IRGC Quds Force chief. Qani took over the Quds Force in 2020 after Qasem Soleimani's killing and has since overseen the unit's external operations. He is a secretive figure who manages Iran's ties with regional proxies and allied armed groups across the Middle East. Alireza Tangsiri, IRGC naval head. He has served as an experienced IRGC naval commander since 2018, leading the Guard's naval branch in the Gulf. He played a significant role in Iran's past operations to threaten or partially close the Strait of Hormuz to international shipping. Mohammad Baqer Ghalibaf, Parliament Speaker, a former IRGC commander. Ghalibaf served as Tehran mayor and ran unsuccessfully for the presidency. He may be the biggest political heavyweight still alive. Has become more vocal in recent weeks by setting out Iran's stance as the war develops. He is reported to be negotiating with the United States. Gholam Hossein Mohini-Egi, Judiciary Head. He is a former intelligence chief who now heads Iran's judiciary. He was sanctioned for his role in repressing the 2009 mass protests, and is widely regarded as a hardline figure. Masoud Pezeshkian, Iranian president. He is the most senior directly elected official in Iran, but has limited influence over core security and war decisions. He incurred the Guard's anger by apologizing to Gulf states for Iranian attacks, and later had to partially retract those remarks. Saeed Jalali, former Supreme National Security Chief, an injured veteran of the Iran-Iraq War. He is considered one of the most hardline figures in Iranian politics. He is known as an uncompromising former nuclear negotiator who took a very rigid line in talks with Western powers. Alireza Arafi, Guardian Council member. He is a leading member of the Guardian Council, and a well-trusted senior cleric in the ruling establishment. He was chosen to join the three-man interim council that ran Iran after Khamenei's death, reflecting his high standing in the system. Abbas Araghchi, Iranian foreign minister. He is a veteran diplomat who has led or taken part in several high-stakes negotiations on Iran's nuclear and regional issues. He has maintained close ties with major powers such as Russia and China, which are key external partners for Tehran. Recent remarks by President Trump about Iran's leadership have added fuel to speculation over who Washington is dealing with in Tehran. On March 23, Trump said that the United States had been speaking with what he called a respected leader inside Iran, without naming the individual. Trump also announced that U.S. strikes on Iranian energy infrastructure would be postponed for 5 days, presenting it as a gesture tied to ongoing contacts. Iranian officials quickly pushed back, and reports said the Speaker of Iran's parliament publicly refuted Trump's claims, denying that such talks were taking place. On March 23, the IRGC stated that it is negotiating with aggressors through impact-driven operations, signaling that it regards continued missile and drone strikes as its main form of response.
Mr. President, Iran's foreign ministry says you're not telling the truth when it comes to productive conversations, and
Well, they're going to have to get themselves better public relations. We have had very, very strong talks. We'll see where they lead. We have major points of agreement. I would say almost all points of agreement. Perhaps that hasn't been conveyed. The communication, as you know, has been blown to pieces. They're unable to talk to each other. But we've had very strong talks. Mr. Witkoff and Mr. Kushner had them. They went, I would say, perfectly. I would say that if they carry through with that, it'll end that problem, that conflict, and I think it'll end it very, very substantially. We have very much in mind our partners in the Middle East. We've had great relationships with a lot of them, as you know. A lot of them were surprisingly hit, and I was surprised to see it. So was everyone else, but they're very much in mind in the discussions. So the discussions took place yesterday. They went into yesterday evening. They want very much to make a deal. We'd like to make a deal too. We're going to get together today by probably phone, because it's very hard to find a country. It's very hard for them to get out, I guess. But we'll at some point very, very soon meet. We're doing a 5-day period. We'll see how that goes. And if it goes well, we're going to end up with settling this. Otherwise, we'll just keep bombing our little hearts out.
Speaking with Iran.
A top person, don't forget. We've wiped out the leadership phase 1, phase 2, and largely phase 3. But we're dealing with the man who I believe is the most respected and the leader. It's a little tough. We've wiped out everybody.
Is that the Supreme Leader?
No, not the Supreme Leader. We don't. Well, nobody heard of the second Supreme Leader, the son. Nobody. We have not heard from the son. Everyone said, "Well, you'll see a statement made," but we haven't. We don't know if he's living. But the people that seem to be running it, and they seem that based on really fact, because things they've said have taken place.
Mr. President,
Again,
Mr. President, I know you deployed.
because I don't want him to be killed. Okay, I don't want him to be killed.
Mr. President,
Nobody wants to be that. Nobody wants that job right now. Nobody's exactly looking forward to being the head of that particular country. But perhaps we'll be able to solve that problem.